Hey folks, BlackCross here. I am back. Yes, I'm back. I do apologize for being gone for so long, but I'm here and we're going to be talking about a subject that I am going to go ahead and bring up right now. I'm going to do my best. It's not going to be easy, but I'm going to do my best. A spoiler-free, I'll go to explain that in just a sec, but a spoiler-free review on Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, when it comes to spoilers, I'm going to do as best as I can to kind of go into a brief, no spoiling, no talking about the in-depth about the game and stuff like that, but talk about some of the stuff that goes on, like, face surface only. Now, if you've watched every trailer up to its release, then this video will be spoiler-free, because at that point, you're already caught up to speed. If you haven't seen every trailer, then this might be a spoiler-ish review. So, depending on how you look at it, it may be a spoiler, maybe not, who knows. Either way, it's only spoiler-free in terms of if you've seen all of the trailers. As for if you haven't, this might be a little bit of a spoiler. So, you've been warned. That's my definition of a spoiler for this review, is if you've seen the trailers. Anyway, on to the review. So, let's first talk about the story aspects of Kingdom Hearts 3. And again, no spoiling, I'm just going to talk about it briefly. But, if you think you know how the story is going to end up being in Kingdom Hearts 3, you do not know. You just don't. You have no idea. And it's good. It's good to know that Nomura is able to bend the story enough to work, and at the same time be able to shift it to where it keeps our minds going, yet it doesn't go in the direction that he knows it. Which is weird, because it's like, you look at the trailers and you think you have an idea. You think you have an idea. And the best part about it is Super Butterbuns was actually right about what she was saying, and that's the fact that, honestly, Nomura is crazy when it comes to storytelling. He will bend it any way he can in order to kind of twist your mind. Now, record, you have to kind of throw reality out the window at times, but to a certain point, Nomura is pretty good when it comes to telling the story. That being said, again, if you think you know how it's going to go down, you don't even know. You don't even have a remote clue as to how it's going to go. So, just to let you know, story is completely different the way you thought it was going to be, but it was still an enjoyable experience nonetheless. On to gameplay-wise. Gameplay, for the first, week, there was a bunch of people saying that the game was very easy. Like, even on Proud is easy. And as far as what people have confirmed, there is no critical mode, which is weird to see that it's not in there. For those that don't know, critical mode has been a thing since Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. And it's been on every Kingdom Hearts game since then. And critical mode is more of a advanced way to test yourself. Enemies tend to hit harder at times. There's also the fact that, much like in Proud mode, your HP doesn't grow by that much, and you don't receive that much healing orbs in the process of it. It does scale a little bit higher than Proud, but from where it was like normal to Proud, it's a pretty big jump, and then Proud to critical, it's a significant jump, but not by much. It does get frantic at times, but not enough to where it is like a higher difficulty. It just cuts like 1 or 2 notches. In 0.2 Burst by Sleep segment of critical mode, it basically more or less eliminates any healing orbs at all. So it's like, oh, crap. And I may be wrong, but I believe the enemies do actually hit way harder in Proud. I may be wrong, but who's to say really? But either way, I kind of wish they would add a critical mode in Kingdom Hearts 3. Maybe they will later on, I don't know, but As of right now, there is no confirmation for any DLC or add-on content for Kingdom Hearts 3, and as far as we know, we're just kind of up in the window of, like, information of that. In fact, even as of right now, the only thing we know is that Nomura and his team are more or less taking a break because of Kingdom Hearts 3, and they said that they will go into detail as to their future projects and stuff like that. Nothing about Kingdom Hearts 3 or anything, they just said that they're going to take a break for the moment. So, as of right now, we are kind of in this period of where we have no future idea as to how Kingdom Hearts 3 in terms of DLC, or if it is going to have any updates. So, as far as we know, there is no critical mode. It's just easy, normal, and proud. So, those are your 3 difficulty. And I think what made the game easy for everyone is just all of the different abilities that it has. For example, you have the links, the aka the summons that are now in the game. You have the Keyblade transformations, which is like the best thing in the game. I absolutely love the Keyblade transformation. They are so awesome. The attraction flow rise are probably the most funnest thing to see. Admittedly, I kind of wish they added a little bit more, but I'm just going to tell you right now that the attraction flow rise are really good in their own right. They're really fun, and the whole mechanic of the gameplay is actually easy to use. Like, easy enough to use, but then somewhat easy to master. I say somewhat easy to master because, you know, as soon as the ability shows up, you have the ability to where you can either use that ability or not use it. Your choice. And then if you have it stacked up, you can then choose to use the ability whenever you want. So, it's very nice to see that this is working very functionally. Perhaps maybe a little bit too well, to where it kind of overpowers the enemy at times. But still to agree, though. The battle system, I absolutely love it. I kind of wish that there was more Heartless. Like, I know this is crazy, but I'm actually saying the phrase, I want more Heartlesses, Nobodies, and Unversed out in the field. I want more enemies to be out in the field, okay? I want more. Just give me more, give me more, give me more. Which they kind of do, but I'll talk about that in my actual review, where it's like spoiler and everything like that. But for the time being, we're talking about the base game itself. Minigame wise, the minigames are better in this one. Now, what do I mean by better? Well, they're a lot more funner, I should say. They're a lot more funner than previous Kingdom Hearts games. Let's see, the best way to explain it, in Kingdom Hearts 2, there were certain minigames that were pretty good, but they were kind of gimmicky. In Kingdom Hearts 2 case, the biggest one was the skateboarding minigame, which it wasn't really a minigame, it was more of a, hey, stack this high of points, and then, oh, you've already done it in your first go. Never mind. It's one of those things where it's like, so long as you match buttons, you will be fine. There is no major skill in it, I guess you could say. I'm sure there are some people that say there is skill involved, but I've not been much of a Tony Hawk's fans when it comes to games and stuff like that, so I just stay away from those skateboarding games whatsoever. So for Kingdom Hearts 2 to have it, wasn't really a big fan of it, and I'm kind of glad that it's not in Kingdom Hearts 3, and instead we have better mini-games. We have better stuff to add on into the game. Some of them are really good, some of them are really fun, some of them are just kick-ass awesome. I'm just going to tell you right now, some of them are just by far the best parts of the games itself. And for those that have seen some of these mini-games in the trailers, I'm just going to tell you right now my 2 personal favorites, and then I'm just going to stop on the mini-game portion itself. My personal favorites are actually that of the Pirates World, which is to be obvious. I really like it, I do. And then, obviously we have the Ratatouille minigame. For those that don't know, Remy is in Kingdom Hearts 3, and what you do is that you cook ingredients into food dishes and stuff, but it's actually its own mini-game and stuff, and I actually kind of like it. I like actually scavenging for the items, and then actually interacting with like different button prompts in order to make the food. And depending on how precise you are, you get an excellent, and despite how it is, it's actually a lot more harder than you think, so it's sort of like pristine carefulness. Also too, you'll be going through a lot of ingredients, so be prepared to stack up on some ingredients. I will say this too as well, you probably won't be getting all of the ingredients on your first playthrough. If nothing else, after you beat the game, you'll have to go back to previous worlds in order to find some of these other ingredients that you might have slightly missed. I say slightly missed because I know I've missed at least a good 10 ingredients that I didn't know even exist, and there's a total of like 59. So that's a lot. There's a lot. There's a bunch of other mini games that I really like too, but again, just to kind of skip over to where that way I don't give you major spoilers. In terms of the mini games in Kingdom Hearts 3, they definitely have improved since Kingdom Hearts 1. And I think if I had to say, probably slightly better than Burst by Sleep. There is one downside, but again, that's for spoiler version of the review itself. So, in terms of like everything else, just Kingdom Hearts 3 was just everything I thought it would promise. Now, this is nothing to worry about in terms of spoiler, but I think the biggest question that I think people are going to say is that, okay, in your case, BlackCross, is it better than Kingdom Hearts 1? Because for those that don't know, I prefer Kingdom Hearts 1 better than Kingdom Hearts 2. I do like Kingdom Hearts 2, it's my second favorite out of the series. But it's not as good as the first one. The first one does a lot of things right the first time. Kingdom Hearts 2 does a lot of improvements, but at the same time waters it down quite a bit. Kingdom Hearts 3, however, improves a lot from what Kingdom Hearts 2 had. Kingdom Hearts 3 improves a hell of a lot. It does everything right, it does everything perfect. It does, however, miss a few possibilities that it could have done well. It does a lot of stuff that I like. A lot more stuff that I like in Kingdom Hearts 2. And enough to say that I actually want to see more come out for Kingdom Hearts 3. Even though that's a far jump, but I would like to see more come out for Kingdom Hearts 3. But in terms of like what it has right now, I do like it as it is. Do I wish for more? Of course I do. But right now, I am in the part of completing Kingdom Hearts 3. I am in the part of where I'm completing through the Jiminy Journal, which again, we'll talk more about that in the spoiler version. But for the most part, I am enjoying everything that the game is providing, and it's been an amazing journey for me. It's weird, because when I first started playing through Kingdom Hearts 3, my mind was just trying to go through the process and be like, is this really happening? Am I really playing the next stage of Kingdom Hearts? And the answer is yes, you are playing the next stage of the Kingdom Hearts series. And it's weird too, it's weird because of the fact the gameplay is so good, the graphics are amazing, storytelling wise it's on par, voice acting is incredible, like I kid you not, it's absolutely incredible. Everything is voice acted, which is unbelievably amazing to believe that everything is voice acted. There is no like text bubble like how there used to be in previous Kingdom Hearts games. Instead, it's just all voice acted, which is incredible. I love that. I love the fact that they've been more voice driven into this game, and it's so amazing. The worlds feel so much more alive even. I mean, it's completely amazing as to how much they've done for Kingdom Hearts 3. And honestly, I cannot wait for the next Kingdom Hearts game. That's the thing. It's funny too, because in a review, Nomura was asked about a particular subject, and I forgot what it was, but the answer he gave was that because of what we did for Kingdom Hearts 3, instead of saying the phrase, when is the story going to end, you're going to be asking the question, what's going to happen in the next entry? When are we going to get the next installment? And I can safely say that he delivered on that promise pretty damn well, on numerous occasions. So, we will discuss that part in the next video, but I wanted to give you a brief review on Kingdom Hearts 3, spoiler-free. I hope it's spoiler-free enough for you guys, but again, we will go into details in my actual review of Kingdom Hearts 3. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.